Story. Young Gui Fe. The favorite wife of the Emperor Ming Huang of the Tang dynasty was the celebrated young Gui Fe. She so enchanted him by her beauty that he did whatever she wished him to do. But she brought her cousin to the court, a gambler and a drinker, and because of him the people began to murmur against the emperor. Finally a revolt broke out, and the emperor was obliged to flee. He fled with his entire court to the land of the Four Rivers. But when they reached a certain pass, his own soldiers mutinied. They shouted that young Gui Fe's cousin was to blame for all, and that he must die or they would go no further. The emperor did not know what to do. At last the cousin was delivered up to the soldiers and was slain. But still they were not satisfied. As long as young Gui Fe is alive, she will do all in her power to punish us for the death of her cousin, so she must die as well. Sobbing, she fled to the emperor. He wept bitterly and endeavored to protect her. But the soldiers grew more and more violent. Finally she was hung from a pear tree by a eunuch. The emperor longed so greatly for young Gui Fe that he ceased to eat, and could no longer sleep. Then one of his eunuchs told him of a man named Yang Shi Wu, who was able to call up the spirits of the departed. The emperor sent for him and Yang Shi Wu appeared. That very evening he recited his magic incantations, and his soul left its body to go in search of young Gui Fe. First he went to the nether world, where the shades of the departed dwell. Yet no matter how much he looked and asked, he could find no trace of her. Then he ascended to the highest heaven, where sun, moon and stars make their rounds, and looked for her in empty space. Yet she was not to be found there, either. So he came back and told the emperor of his experience. The emperor was dissatisfied and said, "Young Gui Fe's beauty was divine. How can it be possible that she had no soul?" The magician answered, "Between hill and valley and amid the silent ravines dwell the blessed. I will go back once more and search for her there." So he wandered about on the 5 holy hills, by the 4 great rivers and through the islands of the sea. He went everywhere, and finally came to Fairyland. The fairy said, "Young Gui Fe has become a blessed spirit and dwells in the great South Palace." So the magician went there and knocked on the door. A maiden came out and asked what he wanted, and he told her that the emperor had sent him to look for her mistress. She let him in. The way led through broad gardens filled with flowers of jade and trees of coral, giving forth the sweetest of odors. Finally they reached a high tower, and the maiden raised the curtain hanging before a door. The magician kneeled and looked up. And there he saw young Gui Fe sitting on a throne, adorned with an emerald headdress and furs of yellow swan's down. Her face glowed with rosy color, yet her forehead was wrinkled with care. She said, "Well do I know the emperor longs for me. But for me there is no path leading back to the world of men. Before my birth I was a blessed sky fairy, and the emperor was a blessed spirit as well. Even then we loved each other dearly. Then, when the emperor was sent down to earth by the Lord of the Heavens, I, too, descended to earth and found him there among men. In 12 years' time we will meet again." Once, on the evening of the 7th day, when we stood looking up at the weaving maiden and the herd boy, we swore eternal love. The emperor had a ring, which he broke in 2. One half he gave to me, the other he kept himself. Take this half of mine, bring it to the emperor, and tell him not to forget the words we said to each other in secret that evening." and tell him not to grieve too greatly because of me." With that, she gave him the ring, with difficulty suppressing her sobs. The magician brought back the ring with him. At sight of it, the emperor's grief broke out anew. He said, "What we said to each other that evening no one else has ever learned. And now you bring me back her ring. By that sign I know that your words are true and that my beloved has really become a blessed spirit." Then he kept the ring and rewarded the magician lavishly. Note: the Emperor Ming Huang of the Tang dynasty ruled from 713 to 756 AD. The introduction to the tale is historical. The "Land of the Four Rivers" is Sichuan. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.